like that? You 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 like that?
What's going on? It's Coach Williams, and I'm back for another breakdown. So today we are going to talk Shavon Revel out of East Carolina. Big cornerback. Seen a lot of people say that they really like his game, so I decided to dive into the tape. So we're going to watch him versus App State. I'm going to have another video breakdown of him against Michigan because I can't do Big Ten film on YouTube, so that'll be on Twitter. You're going to want to go on Twitter and check that out as well. But let's get right into this thing, okay? So we got him up here, top of the screen. And so one of the things that I've noticed on film with him is he plays really high, okay? And I think this is part of the reason why people are like, oh, he's a big corner. He only measured at 6'1" at the combine. He looks like he's 6'3" on film because he is long and lanky, but he also plays really high. You can see he's high in his back pedal. And when you're high in your back pedal like that, it makes you less efficient in your transition. So you'll notice this big step. We always talk about we want to have small, choppy 6-inch steps. He steps in the bucket here when he breaks, and you see that a lot on film, okay? So we'll see that a lot over the course of the video. So now we got him up here, top of the screen here. And so press coverage, okay? Really good job of staying square to start, okay? Don't love the false step, but it's not a huge one, right? It's not a really big false step, so I'm not going to totally knock him for that. But I like him staying square, fighting across, okay? And then getting over the top, getting hands on. So he's got two hands on. He's trying to look back for the ball. And so this is one area where technically, you know, he could improve a little bit. So he's trying to look back for the ball through the receiver and whip his head around this way from a chest-to-chest position, right? Bigger corners can do that, but I don't really love it at this stage of the route when you're not in a dominant position here. And so now he's got to flip back around, right? So a lot of moving parts, head going from this way to back that way, and now he's trying to cut the receiver off, and it's a contested catch situation, and the receiver comes down with it. Luckily for him, he squeezed him enough to the sideline where he went out of bounds. But either way, just, you know, kind of topsy-turvy kind of rep right there. And you'll see it from the tight angle here. All right, so good job pushing him out of bounds. But now he's got to get his head back around the other way. I think this, having his head around this way, is what he should have done from the start of the rep. And it leaves him out of position and not able to make a play on the ball. But luckily for him, he eliminated him from the play by pushing him out of bounds. All right, so we got him up again, top of the screen. And so big bucket step here, right? So really big steps. The steps need to be smaller and choppier, okay? But either way, gets into this receiver, knocks his head backwards, really physical, using those long arms like that. I love the physicality on tape that I'm seeing from him. It's definitely one of the most physical corners that I have scouted so far this season. So be able to see it from here. Really physical and good hand placement right on the breastplate, right? When you do that and you get your hands inside, it's going to be much easier for you to be able to control the block. And then keeps the outside half free, one arm on him. Really good technique right there. He is one of the best run game and screen game corners I have evaluated, and you'll see that a little bit more when I break down the Michigan tape. All right, again, really high in the back pedal. So when you're high in your back pedal like this, look at, he's high, and now the headgear and the hips need to drop, and the receiver is not even breaking, right? So there's this segmentation, okay, where the hips need to drop because he's thinking, oh, do I need to break? But he doesn't need to break because the receiver is continuing to get vertical. Then we get this heel click here. So just not a very smooth rep, like really segmented there. And then look at the feet, right? Since he's playing so high, he's got to heel click and then jump into the ground, right? Jump into the ground and turn. And he just doesn't get out of the break very smoothly when he's doing that. So the transitions are a little bit of a problem. And if he was 6'3", it'd be like, oh, okay, that's understandable. But he's 6'1". He's not a huge corner, so I'd like to see him play a little bit more smoothly. All right, so this play right here just shows off his ability, okay? So we've got a flea flicker here. Good job of continuing to get depth here, right? Because they're in cover 3 here. So good job of continuing to get depth. You don't care about the run game as a corner in cover 3 until the ball, crosses the line of scrimmage. So it turns into this flea flicker, and then you can see the speed. The speed is for real. Undercuts this thing and takes it to the house, right? This is an impressive rep here. His speed is the real deal, and you will see that in a couple plays, okay? He's got some incredible speed. So really good job staying awake and aware on this play. Flea flicker, not fooled, drives. And one thing I love about this is cover 3, so it's not man-to-man coverage, but in a flea flicker, they're not out here doing all kinds of drop back processing. There's nobody here. Who cares what the defense is? Go make a play. I like that. Go make a play. Nobody's going into the deep third. Go make a play. He makes a play with it. I would love to see a little bit more ball security, but impressive rep right there from Shavon Revel. All right, so we got him down here at the bottom of the screen. And so this is one technical issue. There's a lot of technical issues you'll notice when you watch this film. Jams with 2 hands way too much, okay? So we talked about this in the last video I made about, press technique. He jams with 2 hands way too often. And so you're going to win this rep in college. You're going to win this rep against App State, but you are not going to win this rep in the NFL pretty consistently, throwing your hands like this. But either way, stays on top of the route. He's got decent size arms. They're not monster arms like a Sauce Gardner or something. So don't want to do that too often, but he has the physical capability to do it against lesser receivers in the NFL, not so sure. Now, this is where you're going to see the speed, okay? So good and bad on this play. So we'll start with the bad and we'll finish with the good, okay? So to me, this looks like they're in man-to-man coverage, okay? So we got this fire zone type blitz here. So it's a 5-man pressure. But these 2 defenders are turning their backs, right? So to me, this looks like man. But up top, he looks like he's playing zone, cover 3 zone, okay? And he's not getting depth, and he let the receiver get into his blind spot, and now the guy is getting behind him. So you see this a lot on tape too, the zone coverage. Sometimes he can get a little lost out there. And again, the Michigan film, you'll see it. But this is the ability showcase that we be talking about. Look at the speed here. The recovery speed is for real, okay? I guarantee you, if he was not hurt and he ran at the combine, this guy's running 4.2. Like, he's running sub 4.3 for sure. This is a 4.2 guy. He has elite speed, okay? He ran right up this guy's back when he was dead to rights, okay? Guy has him beat cleanly, and there's no shot that he's going to run away from him. Tons of separation, doesn't matter. Hawks him down. Like, he has elite speed. All right. So I think we got him up top here. And on this one, again, just very segmented in his breaks, okay? Needs a little bit more patience, okay? Very segmented break, hop, right? 2 feet off the ground, don't want to be in that position. Ends up being a completion, okay? The breaks are just so segmented. I think that, and he has ability too, because 0.53, we've scouted guys. That's not a bad break time, but it could be even faster. So he's going to need to really hone in on his craft and get better at that. All right, again, look at how high he is in his pedal. He's standing straight up. It's just not a great position to be in. Because look at the break. Very segmented, and you have to take tons more steps and step so far outside of your frame to be able to break. He's got to get lower in his pedal. He's not tall enough where it's like, okay, maybe he can't sink his hips and stuff like that. He's really got to work on that aspect of his game. 2-hand jam, okay? We talked about this. It locks your hips out. It makes it harder for you to turn. And then you're sprinting. He's trying to sprint so hard to get on top of the route. So now he can't get back downhill. And that's a really long time, right? Almost a second and a half to get back downhill and break. Not what you want to see from your corners, okay? So we'll bring it back and see it again. Just so many steps to turn and to break down, to turn, and then get back downhill. Just too much. Too much. All right. So now we got him at the top of the screen. Again, two-hand jam. It works this time, right? It's going to work against the lesser receivers most of the time. But once you're up against the better guys, can't be doing that. Can't jam with two hands like this. It's just a pretty consistent tick that he has. And now you're going to see him almost pay for it, okay? And this is one of the prime examples of why I'm always saying you can't jam with two hands too consistently, right? Two hands on him, receiver goes inside, hips totally locked out, doesn't have the ability to turn fast enough to get back on top of the receiver and impact the route. But the recovery speed does help. Ball's overthrown, though. So if the ball is placed better, this guy is going to get his hands on it, okay? Need better placement from the quarterback. Now, I'm telling you right now, let's say that this is the NFL, and imagine that this guy is wearing a green jersey, he's wearing number 11, and he's playing in Philadelphia. This is A.J. Brown, and you give A.J. Brown this, you're toast. You're toast, and he's going to catch this ball, right? So, in the NFL, going up against really good receivers, this is not going to cut it. He's got to work on his technique. Has to. Got to hone that. All right, so we can see it from this angle here. Right? I like the not panicking and getting in here and trying to make a play on the ball, but let's not get in that situation. Right? Let's hone our technique and just do better. So this one, okay, bigger false step here, right? False step, jam with the wrong hand, okay? So if he's going inside this way to start, you want to jam with this hand. You also want to be patient and wait before you throw the hand like this. Just give it some patience. And then jams with the wrong hand again when he goes the other way. Beat up the field, okay? So the press technique needs a lot of work. He's just out there doing it with physical ability. In the NFL, that's not going to work. All right. Again, another break where he gets over his skis here. Okay. Gets over his skis. Has to step in the bucket. Really big steps. Ends up being a completion. All right. Now, that's going to be tough in off coverage, but either way, we can make it closer, right? If we hone our technique, we can make it closer and give ourselves a chance. Okay. So here, again, a little bit of a false step, but this time he's using choke technique. So this is okay to use two hands. If you're going to do choke technique, you can use two hands like this. Good job. Being physical, shocks the receiver, and doesn't allow him to get off the line of scrimmage. Impressive rep right there. So now he's in a bail. And again, right, too many hops, right? You don't want to hop like this. Heel click, hop, right? It's just too segmented. I wish he was healthy so we could see him at the combine and after he had some practice and some training with some guys getting him ready for the NFL. Unfortunately, the injury didn't allow that to happen. All right. So this is a much better rep here, okay? Much better rep. Jams with the correct hand, and it knocks him, it shocks him, and now he wants to come back inside and he can roll his hips back around and get on top of the route. So he has the ability to do these things. It just needs to be more consistent. All right, again, really good job here. Sometimes you're not going to be able to throw the hand, okay? You're going to be in a position where you're not going to be able to throw the hand, so this is fine. Don't love the false step, though. Really big, nasty false step there. And then get on top, though, and don't use your hands, right? Sometimes if you get this wide outside release, it's going to turn into a foot race. Good job. Chest to chest, big receiver and big corner. Here, chest to chest with him. Makes a play on the football. Impressive play. So I think we might get one more angle on this one. This will be the last play. So finishing it on a great one here. Chest to chest, can see the ball and drive back downhill, opens up the proper way, tries to make a play on the ball. The receiver has to turn into the DB. Impressive stuff here from Shavon Revel. So Shavon Revel, the tape is up and down, but the physical ability is all over the film, okay? I think he needs to go somewhere where he's going to be able to work and hone his technique, maybe be able to play in a system that's a little bit more simple, so there's not as much thinking and things like that. Don't know if he's ready yet to play in NFL zone coverages, and you'll see that a little bit more in the Michigan film, but the physical ability is there, impressive corner, and I will continue to do some breakdowns for him. So, as always, you know what it is. Coach Williams, Ball Hawks, we fly. I'm out. Peace.